Welcome to Freaky Friday. Not exactly very freaky, but thought I'd share some facts. I'm not going to share anything that's exceptionally personal because, quite frankly, it's none of your beeswax. So, since I am a dirty smoker, I shall talk about that first. I had my first cigarette at the age of 2. 2 years old. My parents, I don't know which one, it was one of them, it wasn't both of them, but one of them thought it would be cute. They did not expect little toddler Jane to go, And for several years after that, they would find smoke wafting up from behind a chair and go, "Oh, look, the baby's smoking again. Will you get that away from her?" It didn't work. By age 11, I was a pack-a-day smoker. At one point, I went up to 3 packs a day. I am now down to maybe a pack or 2 a week. And in addition to being an idiot for smoking in the first place, my grandmother had lung cancer. My grandmother is not my genetic grandmother, but she's the closest member of my family to me. So I didn't have to worry about the genetics of lung cancer, but my grandmother got lung cancer 30 years after she quit smoking and had to have a third of one of her lungs removed. I have recently found out that at the age of 100, her lung cancer has returned in the other lung. Now, on top of that, my mother, who was adopted, and her biological sister both have COPD and emphysema. My mother is currently in stage 4 emphysema, and most of the time she remembers to remove the oxygen mask before lighting up a cigarette. My father, who lived, not quite the right word, his final weeks of life was spent in some kind of, not really a coma, but he wasn't really here. Yet, there would be times when he would sit straight up, never open his eyes, light a cigarette, smoke it, and lay back down. So, I come from a long line of dirty, stupid smokers. My husband has never touched a cigarette, and for the past 17 years we have been fighting over this. Those are some of my cigarette facts. Another fact, also related to smoking, was that when I was born, I weighed less than 5 pounds. To be exact, I weighed 4 pounds, 12 ounces. I was about 9 inches long, and the reason why, take a guess. My mother smoked during pregnancy. I was born with a full-on sinus infection, and by 6 months I had to have tubes put in both of my ears. Lots of reasons for Jane not to smoke. Oh well. Now that I've covered that topic, it is very cloudy, as you can tell outside. It is winter time. I'm not fond of winter time. My favorite season is autumn. My second favorite would be spring if I didn't have so many allergies. So winter technically is my second favorite. And then spring and then summer. I don't do well in heat, which is strange because I grew up in Florida and I want to return to Florida. But as they say, it ain't the heat, it's the humidity. Other facts, let me think. Hear my wind chimes? I've got about a dozen of them. I love wind. I don't know which element I love more, wind or fire. I think wind. I like wind. Facts. Facts about me. I lived in Florida until my father's job transferred him, and he had a choice between Colorado and Georgia. We moved to Georgia. The idea being that Colorado was way too far away from the family in Florida, and Georgia obviously was closer. That never made any sense to me because we never visited family unless someone was getting married or buried. Other facts about me. The earliest evidence I have of writing, creating a story, is my 3rd grade journal. I was 9. I was 8/9 in 3rd grade. I know for a fact that I wrote stories in 1st grade. However, since I do not have the evidence to produce, I generally skip that claim. And of course, I'm in the 3rd grade. The story was equal to a 3rd grader. The point being is that I started writing in the 3rd grade, and I have yet to stop. Hopefully my writing has improved from the 3rd grade, but I can't really judge that. What is that noise? It displeases me. Also in my 3rd grade journal, I wrote that I would be I don't know how I figured out I was going to do this. I was going to live in Paris. I was going to be a full-time doctor, a part-time writer, a part-time artist, and live in a great big house that my parents would move in with me and I'd kick them out. I actually wrote that in my journal. My parents will fight with me and I will kick them out of my house. Sorry, I think that's pretty funny. Other facts. Let's see, I'm closing in on 7.5 minutes. I didn't have very many pets when I was younger. We had a dog lady, which we never knew what breed she was, who adopted us a month before we moved from Florida. We had her until I graduated high school, and she was very sick, and we had to put her down. And after that, was fairly, within 6 months of that, I had moved out of my parents' house, and my parents began to collect animals. They had, at one point, 3 dogs and 9 cats and 2 ferrets, and now it's raining. Now I have 4 dogs, a ball python, and a very upset cat. And since it's raining, I will take that as God saying it's time for me to shut the fuck up. So, there you go. Freaky Friday. Kind of short.